Good morning to all of those tuning in. This is the Rebel Lemon, and today we're back to playing Tokyo Dark. And last time we did a few favors for the Mafia and learned some most critical information. That Mr. Marshmallow is a very manly name. Now that's pretty much it. That, and we got a door code for that locked door that's been bugging me since the beginning of this fucking game. So, with that being said, we're gonna actually check it out. I wonder if I can bug anyone. They're busy. Daijo. I don't want to waste time though. Huh, it worked. Looks like Kazimi's tip wasn't a lie. I am so thankful I didn't have to remember the passcode, because I kind of forgot it. Ugh, what a stench. Wait, I know that smell. Anyone who's worked homicide long enough knows it. Are you kidding me? I only enter the building and... Oh, no. Okay, we're checking the doors first. Fuck that shit. It seems to be locked. I can't open it. I can't see... I can't. It seems like the inside of the lock has been filed off? What? It didn't move at all. It must be reinforced. Is that the same with every door? No good. It's as if something is holding it from the other side. The hairpin isn't catching on anything. This isn't going to work. Damn it, I did nothing but hurt my foot. This one won't budge either. There's no way I can kick this down. Lock has been tampered with to make them useless. What's being hidden in all of these rooms? And then there's the body. The word Ruby is written in blood on the wall. The blood is dry, and it looks like it's been there for weeks. Oh, this is gross. And I really did need a close-up. I guess I found Higashi. Damn it, I should have known. The decomposition on the body is pretty far advanced. He must have been here for weeks. Something else is wrong. The internal organs have been disturbed. Maybe removed? There's a paper bag with the name Hitachi written on it. The same handwriting and the type of bag Rina left in the dumpster 2 weeks ago. This wasn't done quickly. She must have been staying here for weeks, which means Kazuki was probably here too. Are you kidding me? Y'all know I need that sanity, right? Ruby? I'm not seeing how you got Ruby from that. I more see an O... Maybe a V? E? Nothing's changed, just a door. Oh, fuck me, no. Fuck you. And every goddamn horror game and its tropes. Nothing to see here. What's that noise coming from? I'm not a fan. It sounds like something is trying to escape from the inside. Do we have... I don't want to touch it. The rattling stopped. Why? Okay, television or pictures. Which one am I gonna regret more? Okay, pictures first. Shots of various girls, all of them taken in this room. They don't look like professional headshots an agency would take. So, kidnapped? They all look so sad and young. I got a pretty good idea what these pictures were used for, and the types of people they might have been sent to. Rena? So it's true. To think you were kept in a place like this. What happened to you? Huh? Something's happening. You're back early. Yeah, I don't feel well. I think I'll go to bed early tonight. Ruby, don't ignore me. Listen, fuck that creepy-ass mask. It's been the same excuses over and over. I don't know what you're talking about. Ruby, my sweet little Ruby. You think because that one song was a hit, you can just stop working? That money's all gone, sweetheart. We spent it trying to get you a record deal. Don't you think it's unfair to eat my food and stay here for free without doing any work, Ruby? Hey, stop crying. Stop crying. I'm talking to you. Sob. Please, I didn't mean it. I'll do another song. I'll make it up to you. I promise. I just don't want to. That's exactly why I'm setting up all these meetings for you. You make the right impression with these guys, and they'll take you places. Speaking of which, I got a call a little while ago from Massa. Know what he told me? He told me you were being a little disagreeable with him last night at his place. You know what? You know that he's one of our best clients, don't you? The things he can do for you girls is, well, I shouldn't even need to tell you. I sent you to him because he said there was something special about you. In fact, he said out of all the girls here, he particularly wanted to meet you. I did you a big favor by making that happen. Then you compensate my generosity by sitting in our room, crying and telling me you don't feel well or whatever excuse you come up with next. I couldn't. He tried to. I don't care what he tried to do. You should have let him. What the fuck? When I took you in, you were a vulnerable, tiny girl who was already failing in school. But I saw your potential. I could already tell how pretty you'd be when you were older. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this whole situation makes me uncomfortable. Like, hugely. This honestly seems not only like grooming, but forced prostitution and exploitation. And I don't even know if Rena is still a minor. I mean, by Japanese standards, by the time this game was released, probably not. But that still doesn't make it any more uncomfortable. Or I should say any more comfortable, because it is still super uncomfortable. Ah, great. That's all those men care about, how I look. So what? You think I took you in because of how smart you were? You're an idol. You're supposed to be looked at. Most men would fall over themselves to meet a pretty girl like you, but you ruin it for everyone when you sit there crying. What are you doing? I'm sick of looking like an idiot, Ruby. You made me do this. I don't want to know anymore. I think I'm good. I mean, the music is actually really amazing. Okay, so that just plays the game. I'm allowed to exit now. The noise stopped. You know, the worst thing I've ever done was almost feel bad for this asshole for being disembodied. But you know what? Fuck him. He deserves it. And honestly, I feel more bad for Rena than anyone. Damn it, Ruby. I can't stand to see you like this. You're not gonna feel better staying cooped up in here. Listen, I got you a photo shoot lined up tomorrow. The one with Massa. Are you even listening? Don't make me go back. I don't want to go out. Let me stay here. What's wrong with you? Please, please don't make me. I'm afraid to go. Far as I can tell, all you're afraid of is success. I've never fallen over myself to make you a star, but you'll never get anywhere if you lock yourself away. What? You are not going to say anything? You can't treat me this way. I gave you your name, your music, and damn near everything else. But you think you're special, right? Let me break it to you, honey. You're not. There are loads of other girls in this business just like you. And they do what they have to without complaining about it. I'm not gonna lie. The things I'm hearing shouldn't have to be gone through. They understand how important it is to keep clients happy. And I'm sorry, it's not all butterflies and flowers. But when you're not some naive little girl anymore, you're a woman now. Hey, Earth the Ruby, I'm trying to give you some advice here, and you're not even listening. Rena, my name is Rena. What'd you just say? Rena? Who's that? Oh yeah, that was the name of some pathetic little foster girl I picked up. You want to go back to being her? Just say the word, and I'll throw you out there myself. If you think you got it so bad now, let's count the seconds between you hitting the streets and being back in foster care, or dead in some gutter. So if she's old enough to still be in foster care, that means she is minimum 17? Oh, sorry, maximum? Which makes me think she's somewhere between 14 and 16? Which is even more fucked up? Holy shit. I'm sorry, I just have to take a moment to process that. Oh my god. There's some people who should just be locked away and not be around not only kids but women in general with how fucked up it is? Like, in all seriousness, why do women in particular get so much abuse and are expected to take it? Why? Just why? It's so fucked up. Anyways, let's continue. Let's just get past this as soon as possible. Not so talkative now, are we, Rena? Or is it Ruby, the girl who was successful, the girl who could make it if she would just do what she was told? Sorry, I'm sorry. I lost my temper. But you gotta see things my way. You were special. You know that? Jesus, the gaslighting here. Fucking hell. I saw so much potential in you. Such a beautiful young girl. I wanted to raise you up and show you what life could be. Then you reject me and everything I could offer. It's a damn shame. You're still pretty, Ruby. So pretty. But not when you mope around. Look, I get it. You're a teenager. And you want to cry it out, right? Fine. But when you're done with that, you're going back out there. You think I want to send you to all these meetings with Massa and guys like him? I'd rather you were successful, so we don't have to do that. I'm on your side. If you work harder, you wouldn't have to do things like that. Stop crying. You're not a child anymore. I just want to go home. Home? Where do you think you are? You are home. This is as good as it's gonna get for a girl like you. Tomorrow, you're going to go with Massa and do whatever it is he tells you to do. You'll stop this crying and you'll start making some money. Maybe it was a mistake to think you'd end up being special. Turns out you're just another disappointment, another whore. Well, that concerns me and confirms some of my suspicions I wish were not confirmed. There's something lying on the mattress. It's a newspaper article dated October 24, 2004. This article's titled, One Hit Wonder Rumi Commits Suicide. That can't be. That was over 10 years ago. Okay, so this is about, if I remember correctly, 2014, 2015, the game takes place. And it won't be, at least in Japan, in like the universe-wise, another 8 to 9 years before they actually increase the age of consent, which is actually 2023, which is super fucked up that it took that long. Fun fact, it took over 100 years for them to update the consent laws in regards of age of consent, and the last time it was updated was when the bill was introduced. Yeah, fun facts that are not so fun and just kind of creepy. Her real name was withheld from the press, but her picture is there. According to the article, Higashi went to her room and found it locked. He called to her. She didn't answer. I thought she must have been tired, he said. She'd been working hard on a new song. He only forced the door open when he noticed the smell where he found her hanging from the rafters. She hung herself almost 2 days before. Probably in this room. There's more. Though Mr. and Mrs. Higashi had adopted her years before, Ruby was not made to work and loved being an idol more than anything in the world. That's bullshit. Her song, Look For Me, will go on sale again this month, with all the sales going to various suicide prevention charities. I've read enough. The sadness in this room is the same awful feeling I felt in the sewers. Is it Wena's? Is this what I was supposed to see? I'm not gonna lie. I really fucking wish there was more to prevent shit like this. And also, that song going on sale, even if all the profits go to charity, the fucked up thing is, most people will never realize that charity money isn't just money you spend graciously. You still get a receipt from them saying that you gave X amount to charity, which goes towards your taxes. Meaning, even if they're not getting money outright, they're getting huge tax write-offs that is actually still very profitable for them. So the fact that they are using charities to profit off of someone's death in a roundabout way, I think is one of the more fucked up things. Anyways, I feel sick that that monster. How many girls did Higashi pass around and abuse before she murdered him? And you know what? I'm siding with Rena. That motherfucker deserved it. And Rena, she looked the same as she does now. 16 years old, a child. Oh, fuck yeah, I nailed it. And also, fuck, I nailed it. Shit. Higashi had her locked up, and she tried to take back control the only way she thought she could. Only she came back. And all that pain and suffering came back with her. When I was in that room, I could feel it like it was my own. And it was not the first time I felt it. The dark was seeping in. As soon as I realized it, it was like the air changed. I can sense a pulse now, like a heartbeat following me, but it's not enough. The mask could help me find the door, and I feel the dark, but the path isn't going to open to me. What am I missing? My gut tells me it has to do with the Kemenkai, and the only one alive who knows about it is the old Kemenkawana woman. She has to tell me what happened. I don't think she wants to talk to you. And with how things are, we're not making a good impression in this part of town. Okay, that's weird. Why does it allow us to enter right away? And I am double checking. Okay, so there's nothing else. I told you to stay away from my family. Don't drag my grandchildren into this any more than you already have. Stay back. I have questions about the Kemenkai, the group your daughter and son-in-law were part of. You're the only one alive who'd remember. Oh, so that's not... Oh, right. Her daughter and her daughter's husband. Okay, so... Sorry. I had a brain... malfunction there. I thought she was talking about, the grandchildren. That's my bad. Kemenkai. I don't know anything about it. Leave me. Grandma, enough. Listen to yourself. Do you even realize you're lying anymore? Tashi told us everything. And you, Aito, just because this investigation's important to you doesn't give you the right to barge in here. Yeah, why didn't we knock? Your grandmother and I need to talk. If it upsets you, maybe you should go. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is the house I grew up in. It's as much mine as it is Grandma's. If you have something to say, you can say it in front of me. Only a little while ago, I found out my parents died in some cult, and no one even knows why. You think hearing that was easy for me? I want to help you too, Ido, but all the discretion and the lies are starting to hurt people. Oh, deceit. It's deceit, okay. What I'm chasing is much worse. Tell that to the poor man in the station. He's in the hospital, now terrified of his wares. People aren't only here to be used for information and then thrown away while you move on. They have lives too. And bringing up the past can hurt. Surely you, of all people, can understand that. I do, but ignoring the past won't make it go away. And there's unfinished business from Kamenkai that needs to be taken care of. But what's left to talk about? Everyone's dead, right? I promise to talk to you about this later. For now, let me and the detective talk. Go on, you were cooking us dinner, weren't you? Alright, we'll talk about this later, but I'll be in the other room if you need me. Also, I just noticed this, but are they foreigners? Or at least partially? Because the grandmother and Mai both have blue eyes, which is not common in Japan. Blue eyes, blonde hair, and red hair, those are all foreign traits to Japan, as far as I know. Even if a Japanese person had albinism, they still shouldn't exhibit blue eyes, as blue eyes is a structural color, I should say. It's not a pigment color, at least not in humans, or most animals in fact. What happens is when light enters the eye normally, it reflects off the pigment and you get your shades of brown. And like, I believe red's in like your reddish colors. So like yellow and, yeah, yellow, maybe like the auburn. But with blue eyes, the eyes are structured in a way so when light enters the eye, it bounces around, and the only light that's able to escape is blue. But the thing is, this is a genetic trait that evolved in Europe or in the European area. So unless you are of European descent somehow, you shouldn't have this structural adaptation at all. Meaning even with partial albinism, you shouldn't exhibit this. That's weird. That's something I just noticed. That's either a design flaw in the developer's part, or she was actually meant to be part foreigner, which is interesting. So, you found me out. Now that mine knows, I suppose there's no point in keeping it a secret any longer. The truth is, my daughter would never have joined the Kemikai if it weren't for me. I convinced her and her husband to join. I was already a member. At the time I joined, my husband had left me, and I'd lost my job, suddenly leaving me single, unemployed mother who could barely support her daughter. Okay, but you make it sound like the daughter was old enough to be an adult? So what does this matter? That's when Tomemasa found me and told me that the society that stigmatized and shunned me was a fiction, a great machine to be fought, and that my very soul was at stake. Of course, he used me as he did everyone else. I desperately wanted to hear that my struggles weren't my fault. They stole everything from me, my youth, my mind, then my child. And then one day in '96, they all died. The cause of death was buried. No autopsies were performed. Or if they were hidden. Why? That's simple. The government didn't care about some dead cultists in the woods and covered it up so the papers couldn't sensationalize the deaths. Actually, that's kind of smart. That's it? After everything I found, you'd expect me to believe that? 12 people died that day, and no one knows why. What happened? Tell me the truth. You want to know what happened so badly? Fine, I'll tell you. They died for nothing, following in the footsteps of a madman who believed that life was an illusion. As words of the compounds and other groups raided spread, Tokimasa began warning us that the end was near. He believed the world was collapsing, and it was time for him and his followers to abandon the flesh and find purity among the gods. Oh my god, this is reminding me of that one cult that all committed suicide via what was it, Kool-Aid or something like that? Like poison Kool-Aid? Ew, that was fucked. I think that's called Heaven's Gate or something like that. I don't remember fully. But like, yeah, super fucked up. Same vibes this gives me. And it throws your head through a loop. It really does. My Emiko. She didn't die from some conspiracy. She chose death because she no longer had an anchor to reality. And it was my fault. Beyond that, I don't know what happened to them. No, you know something. In the report, it says after the officers cleared the bodies, they found the mask. The same one you handed me 6 months ago? It's been that long? Oh wait, no, that makes sense. Because there's been some time between the first encounter of Rena, where we got the mask, and the second encounter, and then from the second encounter to rehabilitation, quote unquote. I should say hospitalization. That's... Tomemasa would always keep it to himself, saying it granted him sight into the realm of the kami. I needed it. You don't understand. It allowed us to see things and people who were gone. The guru was a fool, a fake, but the mask was real. There was a rumor that the cult members were killed by one of their own. Surely you didn't... No, you don't understand. I would never kill my own child. I didn't take the mask. It was given to me. One day, a man, some journalist or other, showed up at my door carrying the mask. I couldn't believe it. I begged him for it, and he stood there, smiling at me. His eyes were like none that I've ever seen. It was strange. All he wanted in exchange for the mask was a picture of Emiko. Oh my fucking god. It's the collector. But then, how did the collector gain the mask? 'Cause it should have been in police custody. And the fact that the mask, I don't remember if it was actually documented, but assuming it was, how did no one notice it go missing for what seems like 20 years minimum? That's really weird. Even if it's only been 5 years, you'd think someone would notice. When I joined the cult, I was supposed to give up my possessions and only had one left, but I gave it to him nonetheless. I thought if I had the mask, I could find her, that maybe she would forgive me. As soon as I had it in my hands, my mind opened. I could hear her voice. So you went into the sewers chasing after her, thinking you could save her. Takashi told you that as well, did he? Yes, it's true. Emiko was crying out to me, begging me to find her and free her from that dark place. I would have given anything to hold her in my arms again, and pleaded her forgiveness. I don't care if you don't believe me. Just like Tanaka was calling out to me. I do believe you. We're probably some of the few people left alive who know what the mask is capable of. If you really thought it'd help you find her, then why did you give it to me? Because I was wrong. At first, I only followed whispers. Then I found myself in a strange labyrinth, chasing after her shade. The days bled together. I lost track of my grandchildren, of the shrine. It was an illusion. No matter how hard I tried, I never found her. I only became more and more disconnected from the world around me. I descended into madness. It was being used again. I was being used again, just like Tomimasa had used me so many years before. I tried getting rid of it, throwing it away, burning it, none of it mattered. It always came back. And when I did, the visions and whispers only got worse. So I put it out of my mind and tried the best I could to live a life of solitude and ignore the screams of my daughter. Then you came. And when you did, the mask was screaming out in voices I'd never heard before. I thought it was a sign, so I gave it to you. I didn't even have time to breathe out a sigh of relief before I heard a gunshot ring out. No one else ran to it. I think I was the only one who knew that sound for what it was. I thought the mask was punishing me once again for taking Maya away from me. Instead, it had passed tragedy to another. I'm sorry. Perhaps the knowledge of the mask should die with us. There is one other person who knows the mask, a girl named Rina. Does that name mean anything to you? No, I don't know anyone by that name. Then why do you take a second to answer? Do you expect me to know everyone who's been touched by the mask? No, but you were involved with the group that worshipped it. Are you sure you're telling me everything? Yes. What good will accusing an old woman do? Unless you're chasing someone too. That must be it. Mike told me you lost someone. Your partner in the police. Is that right? If I'm right, then I suggest you stop your search. The place I was shown by the mask was not meant for the living. I barely escaped with my life. Just like the story she told. About the god who lost his wife and then went into the underworld and barely escaped. Stop while your mind and body remain intact. What if I told you there was another option? What? Another option? In the months since I first met you, I've had time to examine the ancient texts in this shrine, and the mask grew further away. It loosened its grip on my mind. I knew then it would someday make its way back to me, and so I became determined to find a way to protect myself and my grandchildren from its influence. The darkness of Kemenkai and its ritual object are but manipulations used to sever our connections with what is truly divine. The mask breathes darkness. Dark forces can invade all manner of living and non-living things, driving them to violence or death. That which is evil cannot be used or tolerated. It must be destroyed. It is the only way to save us from its grip. Destroy the mask? I thought you just said it couldn't be done. Not physically. Grandma, is everything alright? I overheard you talking about the mask again. Yes, dear, but you needn't worry. In fact, it's good you're here, as this talk involves you. My, you've trained in exorcism and purification rituals for quite some time, haven't you? Such a ritual could purify the mask and turn it into a mere piece of wood, given we gather the right materials, of course. So, essentially, the blood ritual that created the mask is going to be reversed. I can tell from the look in your eyes that you think me to be senile, but I'm quite serious. Even modern rituals have ancient roots. With enough conviction, they are still capable of great power. Before, I was content to die, as long as the mask didn't hurt my children, as I was too feeble to do what was necessary myself. But now, seeing you here, I see a second chance to do what is right. If you truly do what the mask is, then you must help me destroy it. Slow down. I didn't come here to be involved in a ritual of exorcism, or whatever you call it. I only want the truth about the Kemenkai, which you still haven't given me. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? So be it. I can see there's only one way to change your mind. There's only trace of what happened that day would be at the Kemenkai compound itself. The records of its location are lost, and they are never made public, but I know where it is. Okay then, what's the catch? Go there, search for your truth, see what worshipping the mask has wrought. When you return, you help me destroy it. What makes you so confident I'll change my mind? I went back once, years ago. In all honesty, I'm not sure why. Perhaps to remind myself of my sins. What I saw and felt in that place, it was tainted by darkness and death. Those two things are all the mask will afford you. There is something else. I had a feeling you'd say that. The heavy, unnatural air I felt when I returned to the compound, it had the same stench, the same quality of the tunnels where I searched for Emiko. Sounds like superstition to me. So what exactly is it you want in exchange for the information? I believe the energies of the mask and that place are linked. I want you to bring something back from there. Anything. It would help in my ritual. Looking for the truth will not bring you peace, detective. Purifying the mask very might. Remember that. The compound is in the forest of Okigara? Okigara? Hey, that's the suicide forest. Oh shit. Suicide forest. What a dreadful name. Though I suppose those words have seen their fair share of tragedy and death. Ido, you can't just go charging in there. It's dangerous. What if you get lost? GPS doesn't work in there. And I even heard compasses won't point north. Oh, okay. So there must be a magnetic interference there, which isn't uncommon, as you might think, as all it takes is for fairy rocks under special conditions to create a magnetic field that actually fucks with compasses. Ferrite being iron, and iron not just being metallic, but the fact that it can actually generate a magnetic field, so it's magnetic. So it can also generate a magnetic field, which is interesting. Not only that, but, well, a lot of people go there to die. I don't think you should go. You two keep talking about the mask like it's so evil. Like it's some evil spirit causing you pain, but I think the pain you're feeling isn't caused by the mask. It's just you. So many nights after the girl died in the shrine, I had nightmares. Every corner I went around, I thought I'd see her again. It wasn't a ritual or charm that made me feel better, though. I just stopped listening to the fear. I confronted it. When you took to see me to Tagashi, that was the first time I'd left Kamakura since April. It's embarrassing to admit, but I was scared. And yeah, Takashi tells me that stuff about Mom and Dad was scary, but it was the truth. I wasn't hiding from some demon I'd invited myself. Anyway, I know you might not listen to me, but I don't think you should put yourself in danger just so you can keep chasing your demons. Maybe you're right, but some demons have a way of spreading to others. Seeing the Kemenkai compound is something I have to do. Well, it's your choice, but Akihira is huge. How are you going to find one compound? Mai makes a good point. It's been a long time. Are you sure you remember where it is? Of course I do. I know you two must think of me, but I'm not senile. It's a hike away from the bus stop on the outskirts of Narusawa. We used to go to the town occasionally for supplies. Several miles away from the bus stop, there's a clearing and a path used from time to time by the Forest Service. I'll draw you a map before you leave. It continues for quite some time, and eventually it will be blocked off. Keep going forward and don't turn back or leave the path. The forest can play tricks on you. Supposing the path is still there, it seems pretty incredible to me that the compound would have been left alone all of these years. It still stands. After all, why would they bother to go and dismantle it? Go search for whatever truth you think you'll find, but be careful, detective. Do what must be done, then leave. Staying there is dangerous. I hope that once you enter that place and feel the energy I did, you have the sense to see what I never could. You understand, don't you? The mask must be purified. Tanaka comes first, I understand. It depends on what I find. Okay. I don't think it's a good idea to bring Tanaka back. But, from what I know about the mask, it exists for a very specific reason. And I really do wonder if it should be allowed to survive. I'm wondering. I guess it depends on what I find. Don't be a fool. Finding what happened that day will change nothing. You're being haunted by your past, chasing phantoms as I once did. When you enter those dark places, you leave pieces behind. Purify it, stop this while you're still whole. I'll begin preparations for the ceremony regardless. See you out. She never said anything like that to me. You must have really scared her. Listen, I'll help you with this ritual because I think it'll help Grandma get better. But don't get yourself killed. I know in your eyes I'm probably just a child, but I know how much it hurts to want the truth. Takashi, there we go, obsessed over the past. And I was miserable, not knowing. Grandma almost went insane on top of that. Grandma said it herself. You're still young. You should forget all about this and start over. And you might not want to hear this, but listening to you two girl talk about masks and spirits, well, you sounded like that girl at the shrine. It scares me, and it should scare you too. Take care of yourself, Aito. She does kind of have a point. Oh my god, a lot of the places have just gone. Oh, we must be nearing the end. Oh, our sanity hit. Big hit. Man, that sucks. Oh well. What can you do? I'm assuming the next one will be the last of it. But that does have me curious on a lot of things still. Like, what are we gonna find? And what choices are we gonna be presented with? And I really do wonder if Lena is the mask bearer. I don't know. I don't know. I guess... I guess I'm gonna just have to think about it. And think about the options that it could present me. And where I want to go. Like, obviously, I do think it's gonna allow me to have the option to bring Takashi and Rina back. I don't think together. I think separately. But I think it's gonna give me those options. I think it's gonna give me the options to destroy the mask, obviously. But I wonder if we can get lost in the darkness, despite the mask being something that's supposed to allow us to see the door that hides within the darkness. And I wonder what happens if we open it. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. But for now, I think I'm gonna end it there. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning into the frequency. This is the Rebel Lemon, signing off. So, good night and sweet nightmares.